And live. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks Thursday night. We have three of our original Old Gray Bricks. Chris is still on vacation, and he sent me a rather large picture of shrimp a minute ago, which I will share with everybody.
Do you really have to?
This is the kind of stuff Chris sends pictures like this when he's on vacation.
Yeah.
He's very thoughtful.
Look at those shrimp. That's beautiful. And we got Jeff and we got Rich with us this evening. And it's probably just going to be sort of a messy Thursday. Although Lego released a financial report, maybe we could chit-chat about that a little bit.
Chit-chat.
They got money.
Yeah, but
this will be our quarterly earnings report here on Old Gray Bricks.
Cool. But what do you guys got going on? I don't have anything new over here. I'm sort of.
You're sort of.
Well,
I think Matthew's sorting.
I'm about to reconfigure one of my display windows.
Okay, cool.
It's going to include I've done this before, but I'm making a new version of it, and basically there'll be some sort of ritual happening on the rooftop that may or may not involve a missing stewardess and a tesseract. Who knows?
Cool.
Tesseract.
Rich, have you read any of the Charles Stross books? The laundry files, so called.
No, but I have read a little of the Lovecraftian stuff, and that's what initially I had based this thing happening in this window, this portal.
Sure.
To be.
Well, the books that I'm talking about, the Laundry Files books, it's basically a British secret agency called the Laundry that deals with eldritch horrors. But they have modern technology and things and lots of tons of books about bureaucracy and stuff like that. So they're fun.
I have not. I will think about looking that up.
Yeah, I can send you a link to one.
So this is probably going to be upsetting, but I tried really, really hard to like reading Lovecraft, but I just
it's not for everybody.
I just couldn't stick with it. Like, I just didn't find it that interesting.
It's not for everybody, and that's okay.
Sort of like jazz. I tried really hard to like jazz, but apparently I don't have the right.
It takes a very twisty mind to wrap their brains around the eldritch horror kind of thing. And that's not to say your brain's not twisty. It's just not twisty that way.
Oh, it's twisty, all right.
See, it's just not twisty that way. It's
so
twisted the other way. Ish.
In my house, the bricks and pieces arrived. So we got a couple cool new parts, like these new sand green wedge plates, and the sand green upright clips. And these are kind of cool for greebling. I would expect that Mr. Giddens would like to have some of these. They're the lantern holder pieces, but
I need to
to
get
me,
those too.
These could be incorporated in the side of a spaceship using the top to clip it in and then put something inside, put a round translucent in there for a power cell or something. Let's see. Got some, I call these half moon. I don't know what they're officially called. The half moon windows. Got a couple of those in brown. And these, I thought, I don't know what I'll do with these, but these might be interesting as some kind of greeble. It's the shield, undecorated, peanut colored shield. What else did we get? The 3x3 curved and olive, the curved tile just came out, so that's a new piece. And of course, there's always these interesting stud 90-degree shift pieces. So I got a couple of those in regular green, light aqua corner bricks, and my Benny's not orange. Benny's not supposed to be in there, but these are kind of cool, and these are very Halloweenish. But I don't know if you saw them, but they're a little quarter translucent tile with what kind of looks like a webbed bat wing.
Actually, I think if you put 4 of those together, all I can think of is Umbrella Corporation.
Ooh, well, let's take a look. Let's set 4 of them side by side.
What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, that's definitely the sign for the Umbrella Corporation. That's immediately where my brain went.
I knew it would. I knew it would.
There it is.
Yep. That's the Umbrella Corp, all right.
And then some other quirky things. The beehive in this like dark metallic gray color.
Oh yeah, those came with the big Ninjago Mick. Zane Mick, yeah.
I got one of those like explosive action pack type things in the sort of translucent pink color. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these, but you know it's new and I had to have it.
I don't remember where the pink ones come from.
It's I just saw it. It's a newish set. It's one of the Avengers sets, I think.
Is it like Scarlet Witch or something that's doing?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And then there's this really cool opalescent translucent blue, and I got a couple of these. At some point, I really want to do something with putting light behind translucent bricks, or do like a cathedral, perhaps. So I got some of those, and we also got some more of the Dana's favorite, the Nexo Shield in dark gray.
Ooh. You like
Don't you come over, Dana. Order your own.
I do like that piece.
Oh,
what I'm
and
doing on my day off.
olive green. Now we have the three brick high roof tiles in olive green. So that's a brand new recolored
Ew.
piece.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I got a couple of those, and then I ended up using a bunch of the Harry Potter ones on my newspaper building, and so they're not too expensive. I don't know. These are like 7 cents a piece, and you get 2 of them. So I got a bunch in the pearl gold color. So I've got those available as an accent decoration. There's also some fun hair pieces. So I think Dana and I were talking about this. This is the one hair piece, and it's like the hair is swept to the side.
Oh
It's
yeah.
all curly. So I got 3 of those, and then we've got the spiky hair in red.
Ooh, nice.
And for those of you making monochrome, everybody needs a monochrome pale yellow pants.
Absolutely.
And speaking of zombie season, we've got the bandaged head covering. So I think this originally, did this come in the CMF where the guy had crutches?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, there's a
CMF.
banana flip guy with the
Yeah,
crutches.
so if you want to make a couple of like zombie bandaged heads, you've got the head covering part. And
Hey, it's
Hello.
our favorite Alabamian.
And again, if you're doing monochrome, here's our the dark or the vibrant coral hair piece.
Which sadly there is no melon for that yet.
Yet. And then lastly, we have our melon head.
You
So
just
this is,
said
I
there
guess,
was
our,
No pun intended.
our watermelons, but you could also make them into a melon-headed monster. Dana, I fully expect you to use one of these as the head in one of your monochromes. Although technically there's 2 colors in it, so it's probably violating the rules.
Yeah, technically it goes against my rules of the printing.
And then we have the globular head, literally globular.
Ooh,
with the
Oh, yeah.
that's nice. Where'd that come from?
Oh, it's a new piece. I think it's in one of the new sets where they have stuff on the shelves. One of the new like apartment sets. I can't remember which one, but it sits up there. But That's it. Oh, show's over.
Thanks for
Well,
coming.
Jeff's all set up. Jeff, tell us about those heroes in a half shell.
You're muted. If you're...
We can't hear you, Jeff.
Okay, well, so I
Now we
saw that
can.
one. Yeah, okay. So I saw that one person that designed the turtle van, and I went, I could probably build that. So this is where I'm at, and it's not even for me at this point. This is a commission for not another retro channel. So I'm building the party wagon for him. Got some stickers that I did take from the design that's out there, and I'm gonna throw those on here and finish this up. I hope by the end of the week.
Looks pretty good.
No. I've been putting pictures of it in old gray bricks all day with Mikey and Donatello hijinks. So, yep.
Yeah, I liked your pineapple on pizza joke.
Yeah. But also, I've also like cleaned my shelf up a bit. So I'm gonna do a quick little show of that. I've got the first 2 rows of figures, and that Raphael is new. So is the Leonardo, kinda. So I don't know, just messing around with that. That's all I got.
Are you feeling uncomfortable? Just a little? Just a little? So I've got a couple things going on. Let me set up the share before I actually, so we can do the old gray brick set of the week when I'm done.
Dana's mom has got it going on. Oh, that's not what you meant.
You know, I actually have a fondness for Stacy's mom has got it going on. I do really like that song. So thanks for bringing that up. So I spent this afternoon working on a new habitat and or monochrome mono habitat in flat silver, which is kind of hard because there's no big base plate. So I got to kind of cheat and use a dark gray base plate, which is fine because that's what Kaz Mockett did. So I'm covered, But I left it sitting on my table while I went to the grocery store to get some things for my wife and some provisions and whatnot. And I come back and it's in pieces. And I'm instantly thinking one of the cats came in my office, jumped up on the table. They were messing around and walking around. And so I'm putting some stuff in the little micro fridge by my desk. My wife walks in and she's like, so yeah, I went to get a water out of the fridge and the table on the desk moved and your mock went all over the floor. I was like, I would have believed it was a cat. She's like, I didn't want to lie to you. I'm like, thanks. She's like, hopefully you can put it back together. Okay. I'm like, I just built it. I'm sure I can put it back together the way it's supposed to be. But it was kind of funny. I'm like, I'm gone for like 45 minutes.
Why do you even have 5 cats if you can't blame things on them?
Well, that's my wife's problem. She's all about being honest with me, and I was like, all right, I appreciate that.
The problem with my house is that I'm the one who breaks things, so I can't even blame it on the cats. Like
Right.
I just
I have had the cats do some things occasionally. There was one day, one of them came up on my table and was chewing on a sand green ski pole, and I was like, no, those are not cheap or common.
They are in bits and pieces, so you can order more.
You can order more, but it was at the time when I only had like 2 and I needed 2, and I was like, oh. I love my cats. I do. I keep telling myself that. The other fun thing that happened last night, because my wife was like, she's like, do you mind running to the grocery store to get something for me? I'm like, sure, no problem. Well, actually, it was to go to the gas station, but for some strange reason, gas stations around my house close at 10. I still don't know how to wrap my head around that.
That's weird.
Yeah, it still boggles my mind. It's North Georgia,
especially in your neighborhood when the rich people send their servants out to get stuff in the Lexus. Where do they go after 10? I mean, come on.
They got to go to the 24-hour Kroger or Walmart. That's their 2 options. So needless to say, I went to the 24-hour Kroger instead of the Walmart. But I love my Kroger, as Matthew has tried to pilfer in on my territory at one time, and I distinctly told the store manager to, if you see this man with or without a mask, do not let him in the store. So I got. But
it's not fair. My Kroger doesn't carry toys.
That's not my problem. But I went back into the clearance section, as I always do, just to check. And last week I got a couple of small boxes of green pieces, which was like 3 cents a piece, which is still pretty good buy. But I got this huge bag, 22 video sets, video bandmates at what?
£1.79.
£1.75. Ding, 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 ding.
That's better than I got him.
So I feel now, I no longer, I think, Matthew, I told you one time I saw that box that there were $2 a piece at the Walmart, and I left it, and I was like, do I really need that? And I was like, I had buyer's remorse like 30 minutes later when I left the store. I now no longer have that remorse because I got them for a quarter cheaper than I would have gotten them. I got them then.
That's a deal.
Because of
That's a
you.
deal.
Because of you.
You beat me out.
I swung by my
I
local.
got mine cheap too.
I swung by my local Walmart and there was nothing on clearance after your story. I was like, I should just look, just maybe, but no, there was nothing.
I find it interesting that Target never put them on clearance, but yet they all of a sudden disappeared, and I don't know why. So I'm kind of
They probably sent them to TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't Target send clearancey things to one of their lesser discount stores or whatever?
It's possible. It's possible. Maybe they're going to wind up at Five Below or who knows what.
Or, one of those Tuesday morning type of things. Or
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I haven't checked my bargain hunt lately. I don't normally check there because for some strange reason in this area, I know from talking to another toy collector in this area, he said, don't even bother because there's a guy who has a booth at one of the flea markets up here, and he's made deals with all the bargain hunt employees. And, so he scoops them up before anybody even gets a chance to. So I just stopped going. Every so often, one of our lug members will go into Ollie's and find a good deal on something, but it's very rare that it's Lego. It's usually like a Lego book or something like that.
That's what I've been doing. I've been snatching up whatever Ollie has for Lego books.
Yeah. Supposedly the Lego Dimension sets are now starting to show up at Ollie's again. Which is weird.
Yeah.
I am still, however, on the hunt for little pumpkin heads and little skeleton heads. The containers, the little ones are now showing up. So I need to start hitting my Marshalls and TJ Maxx again. See if they show up again. Hopefully, we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, my wife saw those and was like, "Why can't we have some of those?" I said, "I mentioned it a month ago, and you didn't listen to me. We didn't rush off to TJ Maxx or Marshalls and go finding. Who knows?" She's like, "I'm so sad."
Yep.
Because
some joker will walk in and see 3 of them, and he'll take them all.
I hit both TJ Maxx and up by Mall of Georgia and had 0 luck. So I guess just the wrong time. But
yeah, well, it's hit or miss with those things, which is kind of weird. So
when I'm cruising around Georgia, around that big bypass thing that goes around and keeps dropping out all the TJ Maxx and Walmarts and Targets, is that frowned upon? Am I in someone else's territory?
No.
Possibly.
No, you can go into Dana's.
No, you're clear.
Dana's territory. Well, there's nothing there when I get there.
Let me give you the address to Dana's Kroger.
Just give me the address to his house. That's all I need.
You can come by my house because you're always welcome to visit, but stay out of my Kroger.
While we're talking to Brick Snaps, tell us what you're doing.
It really is nothing exciting. I'm sorting pieces. I have a bucket here, which is all of my snot pieces, and I call them attachment pieces. So any clips or snots or anything like that, giant box. So I don't sort those by color. And yeah, I'm doing my first sort. Like the pieces I need, I'll sort, and then I'll put the rest in the box, and then eventually I'll come back. Yeah, I've got nothing being built at the moment, which is really nice and pleasant.
Well, so first off, those one pieces that look like L's, they call those brackets.
Yeah. Who was I was on a stream with Brett Lego, so Brett Hooper, and his wife was on there, and he's built something. She calls them bumpy chairs.
Bumpy.
So, I like that. That was a good.
Cheers.
Bumpy chairs.
Thank you for telling me. I've still got a lot to learn.
Well, I know. I mean, we can't all just be builders only, you know.
I need to know what the pieces are, so that when I go to Dana's house and I ask his cats for a certain piece,
they'll know what tub to point you to. That's
correct.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for the set of the week?
Let's go with the old gray brick set of the week, shall we? Here we go. Long dramatic pause. Old gray brick set of the wait. CMF of the week.
What?
I'm
What?
shaking things up in this old gray bricks set of the week to make it old gray bricks CMF of the week. So
It's the October Revolution.
This is the eve of October, and because it's eve of October and Halloween and fun, so I decided that we're going to do Old Gray Bricks CMF of the week. So for the next several weeks, we're going to have a CMF that I will highlight instead of a set. So a slightly different segment, but somewhat the same. It is a little weak. Thanks there, Mark. Anyway, Old Gray Bricks CMF of the week is 8803-6 Space Villain. Ooh, sinister and scary.
The black cyborg.
Space Villain came from the collectible minifigures series 3 back in 2011. Sadly, a whole 9 pieces. You got one minifigure because that's what it is. It's a minifigure. And the retail price, gosh, I just switched minifigures were $2.99 again. It's hard to believe that a whole 10 years has cost us $2. Use price on these guys, I'll get you $7.50 if you're trying to find one, and depending on what's available. And then in the bag, you spend another $1 and you can get the bag sealed with it, and that's kind of fun. Not a great increase in price, but I guess that's kind of rare depending on the minifigure. I didn't go through the why is it cool, but we'll just kind of talk about it just in general. Love the helmet. That trans yellow screen is just fantastic. It says, Blacktron all over it. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only figure I don't think the trans yellow is very common. I didn't go researching this one because this was actually on the fly as we were getting ready to do the show this evening. And I believe that the dark pearl gray gun is also exclusive to this minifigure. The leg, we get that in a lot of pirate sets. And I think this was the first time they did the funky arm, or did they also do the arm on somebody else before this one? I'm pretty sure that the arm to give the claw was new on this figure, and they have since used it. Poor Benny, when he lost his arm in Lego Movie 2, he got one of those as well. So
I think the arm came with Dr. Inferno, didn't it?
was that a Agents thing, or
Yeah, the Agents.
And Monster Heroes.
and Monster
Monster
Hero,
Hunters. Monster Hunters did add one too.
which was a little earlier in this, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that probably Monster Hunters. The robot in Series 1 also had those arms. So cool. All right. So not that long after that. But again, the cool part about this figure in general is that torso with that big Blacktron 2 emblem right there in the chest, which is actually so much nicer than the original Blacktron 2 figures. Because, everybody complains about the Blacktron 2 figures looking like they're like, going skiing and they're from Texas or something like that. It's pretty bad. Definitely not as classic as the original Blacktron 1 figure. So this guy definitely ticks it up a notch. And some people would call him maybe, is he like Blacktron 3 or is he Blacktron 2.5? It's kind of a question because I kind of like those bounty hunters, and maybe they'll show up. And the bounty hunters were definitely, to me, are Blacktron 3 with the little Triforce logo, all Blacktron-ish. So that concludes our Old Gray Brick CMF of the week. 8803-6 the space villain from Series 3 collectible minifigures?
I would say it's Blacktron 5.
Blacktron 5. Is that what you're calling the bounty hunters?
Blacktron 5.
I like it. So that's it. And so stay tuned for next week as we have the CMF of the week and what one we'll have next week. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Click. All right.
Whoops, sorry. Wrong button.
Mark, do you want to just keep my screen up?
Oh, sure.
No, you don't have to. It's nothing exciting. Tabs. At least I don't have a messy desktop like I usually have.
I thought you were actually going to show us something.
No, that was it. That was
Okay.
it.
I didn't know if you would maybe something to look at with regard to the topic, which was we were going to talk about the Lego financial report thing.
I actually have the financial report tab with the funky. Well, actually, that graphic doesn't seem to go bigger. I don't know. Do we really want to talk about this? Because I didn't even read the article.
I don't know.
I'll talk about it.
Matthew could talk about it. Tell us what.
Lead the discussion. I'm going to rebuild my mock. My wife broke.
Profits were up 50%. 50. Okay, technically.
I wonder why.
46%. And their statement said they weren't sure how much of this was just a temporary bump due to COVID. That was for 2021. Now I don't know if their business year is exactly the same as the calendar year, because some businesses, they have their own year. But I know, okay, I just won't say how I know because I got myself in a hot water already. But a little bird told me that sales at retail stores are off the chain insane. They can't keep sets in the store, not because they're not shipping them to the store, but because they just simply can't keep enough product on the shelf. Like, it is insane at the storefront level. So I would assume that if profits were up 46% in 2021, they're actually going to be as good or better. I'm sorry, in 2020, they'll be as good or better in 2021. So all of those folks, and yes, Chris Giddens, if you're listening, I'm looking directly at you. All those people who like to wring their hands about, like, I don't know, is Lego going to go bankrupt again? They're doing all these things. And this reminds me of the last time Lego got in trouble. They're not going bankrupt anytime soon. They're making money hand over fist. So
They're not making Galador again. They're not relaunching Galador.
They're not relaunching Galador. I mean, the discussion at headquarters is probably like, what are we going to do with all this money? And there was a bunch of talk about investing in and so on and so forth. And
I'm sure somebody went, Galador.
I personally would love to see them invest just a little bit more money into their IT support squad, but who knows if that'll happen. So.
Why would they do that?
I know. It's not like, during COVID, people bought tons of stuff off their website.
No. Heaven forbid.
That makes no sense whatsoever, Matt.
It's me. Hey.
Hey. I don't think we've seen you in weeks.
I know.
What's going on?
I had to go to Target to get some Halloween candy, so that's what happened.
Is there any Lego stuff?
Yeah.
Are you talking quiet so your family won't know that you bought Lego at Target?
Oh no, I didn't buy any Lego at Target.
Oh.
I bought a that used Minecraft lot, right?
They still sell the squares?
No, I bought it used.
I was gonna say
on Facebook Marketplace. It was $100 for 19 of these.
Really?
Oh, that's a good price.
Yeah.
And I parted out most of them, and there's just like a lot of like really useful parts and stuff, right? Especially the 1x1. So, and then
Lots of 1x1s.
yeah, this whole bag is just like 1x1 tiles. It's insane.
Nice.
So,
A mosaic maker's dream bag.
yeah, that is true. But I was thinking more of like these colors are pretty good for like roads and stuff, right? Because there's like brown, tan, green, I don't know.
For roads?
Oh, brown tan.
Sidewalks.
But
Sidewalks. Yeah.
Sidewalks?
Yeah. Sidewalks. I don't know.
cobblestone.
Cobble.
She's going with the cobblestone feel. Yeah.
I like it. I agree.
Yeah.
But last thing I'll say about this lot is that the brown plates are all shattering. They're like all,
Brittle
Yeah.
That's very
brown.
typical.
Our token Canadian has arrived.
Hey, sorry, I didn't see the invite until a few minutes ago.
You don't have to apologize. I know it's the Canadian thing to do.
Yeah, that's how we start all of our conversations. Sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm here. Sorry everything.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I was watching a different stream, and Rick Brickham was like, well, first off, I'm sorry. And I'm like, and everyone's like, well, yeah, because you're Canadian or something like that.
Yeah. It's just a given.
It's a given.
Canadians.
So hi, everybody.
So, Maddie, can you telling us what else you got?
What? Anything else?
Did you get anything else?
Yeah, I got the Harry Potter sets, and I met this really cool dude who happens to live just down the street from me. He started Legoing during the pandemic, and he's just strictly a Lego seller. And he told me he's like number 28 top seller on Bricklink in the United States.
Whoa.
And I looked at his profile, and I was like, holy crap, you are. Like, it's insane. Over 1 million parts and whatever. So, and that he's the reason why I can't find any used Lego on anywhere around here, because he's swiping it all up.
That'll happen. I know a guy here locally who he confessed to me the other day or a week ago that last year or it was this year, he's already sold $50,000 worth of boxed sets, classic box sets. He's been buying and flipping them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he sees on forums where people are like, why can't I ever find any good deals on this? He's like, because I'm taking them from you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he kind of, that's exactly what he kind of mentioned to me. He's like, his wife is on Facebook Marketplace, and whenever they see something, they pick it up. So like, if you look at my Facebook Marketplace for Cleveland, like there's nothing ever, except for he's trying to offload some of the stuff that he's picked up a lot of. And he said he would flip the Minecraft sets because, but they're too tedious, or were his words. And I was like, well,
yeah.
So that actually, I think, leads into what's Lego going to do, and that its first half results and the second half are going to be bigger. But today, I've got to answer something. I've got a guy trying to offload 120 Lego sets here close to me. And when I started asking questions, he's a sports card collector, but during COVID, he went around buying all the Lego sets. So I think now people aren't buying as much, and there's a bunch of people sitting on things. So I was like, listen, I'll take them out on average price. I said at $2 per minifigure in the box. I said, because I can probably, for $2, I can get that from Atlanta Brick, and the rest of the bricks are mine for free. I think you'll find a lot of people sitting on stuff that they don't need because they got a little bit carried away. So we might be primed to take some of that.
I think you're probably exactly right, Martin, because he contacted me after I purchased this lot and the one Harry Potter set. And he was like, I've got the rest of the 2001, 2005, and I think 2007 Harry Potter line, like full collection. Everything's there. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have the money. So I'm hoping I can just keep saying I don't have the money, and then maybe he'll, a little wink, wink.
At some point in time, it becomes a cash flow issue for these people. Mm-hmm. So at that point in time, they're like, well, even if I break even or take a small loss, I need the cash. So sometimes it works out, or they may justify it that they made enough off of X number of sales so they can risk this number of sales at a cheaper price.
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing that I found out from them is that he had acquired some other Bricklink sellers crap, and he had like 20 Acromills drawers, and he sold them all for $5 a piece. And I missed out. And he has the bins that Matt has, the Lego drawer bin things, and he sold those all for $10 a piece. He had a whole bunch of those. And And when I saw, because in Facebook Marketplace you can see all the things that they've sold, and when I saw that listing, I was like, oh, I can't believe I missed that. But you win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
It's a
there
sad
was
tale.
I'm a member of the Facebook Lego Buy Sell USA group, and this last week, 2 different people posted something that you could walk into stores and buy for a 20 to 30% markup, and people started jumping on them and calling them out, saying like, why would we pay you 30% extra? We can literally walk into a store and buy this. And some people got real defensive, and they were like, well, everyone always complains about the price on the forum. And I was like, I resell Lego that's not available and is no longer in stock. If you're trying to charge a fellow Lego fan for something that they literally can walk in a store and buy, I was like, yeah, I'm going to call you out for that. That's kind of not nice. And if you want to do that, go list it on eBay. But this is Facebook, and we're all allowed to comment. If you don't want comments, don't list it here.
That's, that makes me wonder if they're in that group for the wrong reasons. Like maybe they should be banned. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Oh, my chocolate! Love the addition.
Now, if she were eating a hunk of cheese, you'd have to use the cheese wedge with the printed cheese logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the printed one. It's
a great piece. It's now in Bricks and Pieces, but it's $1 for each printed cheese whiz.
All right. I had to switch the hand. Here we go. You got your chocolate action.
Mark, I'll send you one of the cheese wedges if you want one. I got 3. I only need 1.
Are you going to eat the cheese on camera so we can do this?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. What's Maddie eating today?
This is delicious chocolate.
In other exciting news, I would share this because Canadian Jeff is here. I got the time off to go to Brick Fair, Alabama.
Already?
So, kind of have to, because my schedule, because of what I do, is made a month in advance.
But that's like 4 months away.
I know, but
I booked the time off too. I mean, better to let them know ahead of time so that they don't,
in case they need to fire me, let me go before then.
Well, then you won't have to worry about the time or getting the time. Anyway.
You guys are quiet today. Do you
Yeah.
not have a topic?
Oh, we did. We have a topic. Lego's making money. A lot of it.
A lot.
And so are the secondhand sellers. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Well,
I was commenting earlier about what I'm making for my window because it's almost Halloween. I don't know if you've seen this yet.
I did. I saw that. That's cool.
I'm going to put a light in the back here where this blue windscreen is and have that light up as well. So I get a kind of a bluish kind of glow coming out the front and from the windows. So maybe I'll do flickery, 9-volt flickery lights kind of thing.
Very threatening.
Yeah. It's like this bubble is happening here, this extra dimensional bubble.
Nice.
Rich, I think this is like one of the very first times I've actually seen one of your builds, because since I've known you, you've just been constantly moving and digging around in your
I know.
horse
I've finally gotten to the point where I can actually do a few things that aren't directly furniture related.
That's awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
And VW's been doing some massive building as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me? Really? No.
Who's
I had the
VW?
whole day off today.
Jeff.
I know.
see?
I know.
Jeff.
Here, hold on.
Let's see it.
Ready for the shaky cam?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's it.
Whoa.
Woo! Wow.
That is so
Dang.
I feel like I could get lost in there. It's like Venice.
Yeah.
Well, it's a spiral, so if you walk one direction, you can't really get lost.
I don't know. My wife could probably get lost in a circle. Just saying.
Is it like a hill? Like, is it slanted a little bit?
It's some sort of freaky circle, man.
I've been watching that come along on Instagram. I'm excited.
I mean, at the very top, I could just put a drawbridge that goes to nowhere, and they can just fall back down at the beginning. It'd be like a Lemmings game or something. I don't know.
Did you say Lemmings?
What's
did.
a lemons game?
Very MC Escher-esque.
It's an old game from what, the 90s?
Jeff, how are you bringing that to Alabama? 'Cause that's going to be gigantic.
I have a trailer.
Yes.
He's gonna put Maddie on the roof.
Yeah, I'm going in the trailer too.
So on the topic of castles, because I'm becoming very curious about castles, and I'm thinking about building a castle. So, what are some of your guys' recommendations for starting out building castles? I mean, I'm not trying to make something, on the scale of Peach's castle or a Mark of Falworth, drawbridge type scenario. But I mean, just starting out, what do you suggest?
Great brick.
Great brick. Nexo Knights. What's your
It's totally me Nexo Knights. That's not even a joke.
what's your interest, right? Is it like, do you want to do something based off fictional or a certain time period, or do you want like imagination?
Well, so my first thought was to take something that Mark and Steven Erickson have done and redo it in Nexo Knights, but that would mean I'd probably have to like take out a small loan to get the correct bricks I need to do that. So I almost thought maybe I would start with one of the old classic sets and use that as a foundation and just kind of expand on it to kind of get my feet wet first.
Yeah.
So you want to do classic?
The classic castle sets, not necessarily the yellow one, but like maybe one of the ones
Black
from the
Falcon's
mid-90s.
Fortress or something like that.
Yeah.
Castle.
Yeah.
So my thought when I started redoing Castle as an actual adult, was that I wanted to do kind of a modular castle system where you could plug in a guarded inn, except beefier. The guarded inn would be beefier. And you could kind of plug that into other castle wall pieces because it's got the castle wall as part of the adjoining the guarded inn set. It's not really guarded if you can walk around the wall, kind of thing.
But even if I started that with as like the basic, and then created walls around it to give it that full castle feel, and then maybe even put like a keep further back or something like that.
So then add in that next question of, you've defined kind of the sort of style that you want to do. Like, do you want it to have an interior, or do you want it to be looked at and played with from the outside?
I think at first it's going to be just a shell. I'm gonna go with the Matthew Gunning philosophy of no interiors for the initial piece, just to flesh it out. Because the odds are that this will probably be like a dry run or a rough draft to do it, get my feet wet, and then pull a Martin and just destroy it and start all over again. So I'm trying to bring in the wisdom of my peers.
Well, if you were thinking about jumping in without building a castle set per se.
Well, no, I built a castle set. I built the new 3-in-1 to get a feel, and I was halfway thinking of just taking that and making it bigger or doing something like that, and then start changing the colors. But there's a lot of play features in it that I really don't care about, so I wind up just pulling that all out anyway.
I mean, I'm on my
the Alice Finch book.
What's that?
Do you have the Alice Finch book, the architecture?
I do not, but I did see that it's available on Amazon. I thought about grabbing that. I do have Steven's book that I could probably go through and pilfer some ideas out of as well.
Because the Alice Finch one has so many different techniques for, like, I feel like specifically castle building, because she's known for her Hogwarts thing or whatever, right? Yeah. If I was building a castle, I think I would want that book to use as reference for helping like build like turrets and different wall textures and things like that.
Yeah, I think Nathan's 2 comments are perfect. Ton of reference and stay in familiar territory at first.
The problem with ton of references, most of the references are piles of rubble.
I think the reference he might be referring to is looking at saying like what's been done. who's done what, or look at a castle to kind of,
Yeah.
existing castles to get an idea, which I've kind of been doing a little bit of both already. So that's confirmation that I'm down the right path.
Yeah.
So for me, I've lived in a medieval city before. I used to live when I was stationed overseas in Germany. I lived actually downtown in a town called Memmingen, and it actually still has part of its castle wall keep around the city. And I drew a lot of inspiration from that when I thought about doing what I was going to do, which is do those modular castle wall parts with, kind of trying to incorporate a beefed up guarded inn. Because you can do the guarded inn, you can do a blacksmith shop, you can do stables, you could do troop dormitories, you could do butcher shop, you could do outdoor market kind of thing associated with it, and have a nice little kind of circular area with some turreted corners of some sort, whether they're round or squared off at some point, and maybe put a big keep in the middle.
And it's good that you are not on my project planning team, because you totally scope creeped this entire thing already.
That's what I do.
I'm definitely liking, doing like a small keep with a wall, maybe something in the center, and then some towers and stuff like that. So I think that's where I'm going to go. I was originally looking at some some reference material of classic real world castles, and I guess they probably weren't really more castles; they were probably more keeps, and stuff like that. So I think that's the direction I'm going to probably want to go in.
Yeah. I always try to build like a small scale model too of what I'm planning, so that I can figure it out as I go, or like you can it gives you an idea of what you want, like especially if you do want to put a bunch of things in it.
Yeah,
like a bunch of different, like blacksmith shop or stuff like that. I mean, I actually don't have a small scale model for this because I just can't build this small scale.
But I thought you did build a small scale.
I had a small scale, but it was rectangular. It was a square castle with a mountain in the back, and I totally started looking at it and then gave up on it. Martin's got one right there with a bunch of.
You literally threw that together in the last 5 minutes, didn't you?
He did.
I was working on it.
I like the crayons for the towers.
Yeah.
Or the pencils.
They're not pencils, they're Lego. I know they look real like pencils.
Welcome, Captain Xavier.
Yeah, I've been thrown in.
Better late than never.
So, Dana, I think you really need to listen carefully to what Rich is telling you. Rich is telling you that when you go on your vacation, you need to go to a place with a castle and look at it.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yes. Go someplace where you can have a bed and breakfast, and you can look at the castle wall and see how decrepit it is.
What
But you can't,
is
because
that?
you've been making fun of English food all of these episodes and all this stuff. Like, now you want to go and look at our castles? So.
Yeah. That's an awesome ship there,
Hey,
Captain.
You guys, let's talk about the big ship.
Yeah.
Fire
My
ship.
ship. So I have the red fleet. This is the ship of the line for the blue fleet. He's also got his frigate there in the background. And he done some detailing that I didn't even toy with the idea. Like, he has hand-tied all of the rigging
Oh my.
because he's a madman.
Yes.
He's also done much fancier sails than I did that are properly tied on and
But is it so fragile it'll fall apart if you wink at it, or is it solid?
it's definitely not as solid as mine, but it's not as fragile as all that.
I think
But
it's not rigged correctly though, but that's a small point.
You're not rigged correctly.
Hey,
Cannons.
Well, there's stays for the ends of the yard arms where you adjust them to cut the wind. No, pulled back to the side of the ship from the yard arm to the hull.
Every
He
time,
doesn't have it all on yet. He's literally in the other room making sails.
every time somebody says yard arm, you have to drink.
Woo!
Oh, I need another.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta hold those the yard arms in place, laterally, horizontally, against the wind. Otherwise, they just flutter around.
Uh-huh.
He's working on it, Rich. It's a work in progress.
Yeah. That's great. It looks lovely.
So, side note, I used to work at a bar called Scotland Yard because they used to serve beer by the yard.
Yes.
Also, the owner of the place was a private detective, so that also kind of added to the mystique of the name.
No, I put this here.
It's lovely.
No.
Put it on the big screen again.
Please.
Please, yes, please.
Is that a shirtless pirate? I love it.
He's swabbing the dick.
That's nice with the dark blue.
We've got a shirt. It just only covers the front.
Old school.
It's old school, man.
Open back shirt.
It's not the guy with the anchor tattoo on his chest.
And then this guy's got a mop. He is swabbing.
He's
And
got
people
the
wonder
muscle
why the
too.
gays take their fashion cues from the pirates. I don't know.
In the Navy.
Dun, dun, dun,
You
dun,
can
dun, dun,
tell
dun.
the seas.
Hello.
That's awesome. I want
That
one.
is.
Can you ship one down to me?
BrickCon is tomorrow, in fact.
I was
So that's
gonna
why I'm
say-
up here. My whole fleet in the back of my car will be getting set up tomorrow morning.
So wait a minute. So it's set up on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So is it just like is public day both Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday and
Okay.
Sunday.
I mean, is it a smaller show? I mean, I'm used to where setup is like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I would be scrambling to get everything done on a Friday. That would be crazy.
In my experience in the past, BrickCon has let you come in at least Thursday and set up.
Not according to the schedule. So who knows? Maybe fancy people that they know are let in early, but this is our first time going. So.
Well, Will Hafner just said that he's at BrickCon right now. Oh yeah,
Well, there you are then.
there you go.
But he's setting it up. He's probably not setting stuff. Like he's not putting his box up, but he's probably
Helping
helping
to
the
Put
team.
things to get like
Yeah.
tablecloths.
Get the tables out.
and- Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
glamorous thing.
well, it just seems like an abbreviated time frame to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, knowing the amount of ships that you have to take with you and set up, tomorrow's going to be like a marathon for you, I'm assuming.
Not really. Once again, the way I designed my ships, I can just pick up my ship of the line. It's in the back of my car, fully assembled.
Drop and go.
And I've got
Don't say
two
the
folding
word
cartons that I can just put the whole fleet in and just wheel it in and put it down, and I'm done.
If
That
you hit
makes
the
sense.
speed bump just right, though, it won't be fully assembled when you get there.
What?
Yeah, watch for the speed bumps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you miss
I went over a
if
couple
you
of
miss
them.
that speed bump that's in the shadow and you hit it at 45, your parts will not be fully assembled when you get there.
So you say. There may be some rigging
Yeah.
that comes down.
I'm sure that there's a great debate between the big speed bump at 45 and the constant da-dun, 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 da-dun on the freeway.
Both
Well,
of
I drove 2 hours on the freeway at 70 miles an hour, and when I got here, they were still fully assembled. There were speed bumps involved in everything. I'm telling you, my ships are built solid.
You are solid. Bye, Brick Snaps, wherever he went.
What?
We lost Martin.
Man down.
Well, for me, it wasn't the driving 70 that was the problem. It was the stopping.
Yes.
Wait, are you like a hard stopper or something?
I drove all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, dropped Thomas off, and I was driving to Virginia, and I was only about an hour away, and I did not see a speed bump, and I went over it pretty fast. And let's just say I heard a bunch of things go, tinkle, 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 and I was like, bleep, 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 bleep. I got this close.
So close.
Not happy.
Tinkling's better than a full-on crunch. If you hear a
True.
full-on crunch, that's not good. But a tinkling.
Yeah, there was a brick fest that I'm sorry Chris is not here to comment on it, but there was a brick fest that I got to that I had shipped one of my spaceships, a pretty good size one, and I had to pretty much just reassemble the whole thing. Like the UPS guy, it looked like the UPS guy had maybe sat on it, stomped on it, rolled it down a hill. I mean, it was.
Have you seen how some of the USPS people deliver their mail? Like, I watched my mailman just literally toss my package onto the porch, and I was like, our dog isn't that vicious. Like,
Did he run? Did he run?
No, he didn't run. He just like walked up and he was like, whoop, and walked away.
I'm watching as Rich is walking through his storage area. It's like,
I didn't know
what's
Rich
the-
was wearing a body cam.
Rich, what's on the shelves in the store if this is like the back room?
Wait, the
Practically
modular.
nothing.
Practically nothing.
I have
He's
questions
wondering.
about Rich's business model.
Yeah, I've got a bad business model. I'm keeping everything.
Well, it's like a museum.
No.
It's going to be like a museum, isn't it, Rich? Where people come to hang out and philosophize about the Travis
Fielding
brick and
techniques.
the Erling brick.
Yeah,
and their
So is the
basic
cash wrap?
functions.
Is the cash wrap just decorative then?
Yes. That's exactly what it's for. It's decoration.
But there will be a concession stand, right? Because otherwise, how are you going to launder the money from the illegal business that you're doing that actually funds your Lego hobby?
Clearly, you need
That's a
to
good
get in
question.
cahoots.
So
You need to get to cahoots with some drug lords who need to find a way to show profits. So that you
yeah,
can make
that's
money for them.
what it is.
There's always money in the banana stand.
Yeah, there's always money.
So
in the
right now,
Lego
this is not all of what I have for sale, but it's most of it.
Are you gonna have like bins of used Lego that people can sort through and like?
Yeah, I'm gonna have some tables out here, right around here, where people can kind of sift through used Lego like this, and fill a cup, put it in a bag.
You better
Not
have
to
some
be
rules
confused with the
about
small
that.
parts room.
No, they cannot get access to parts room.
My brother tried to get away with stacking plates at the used Lego store in Cincinnati. Like he stacked them together, and they were like, "No."
Yeah, I just wanted to show you the progress that I've made recently.
That's
Ooh,
cool.
Bram is
With
sharing.
shelves and storage and stuff.
Bram is sharing.
Maddie, was he
the-
stacking them together to buy in a cup, and they told him no?
It wasn't at the Lego store. This is a used Lego store. He was stacking the plates and then packing, like he's even packing them into like the large window frames and stuff. And they were like, no, because he was getting away with getting a lot more Lego crammed into an $8 bag than what should have been. And he was stretching the bag out, intentionally to like
Nice.
make more room.
Which these are all simple practices that we do when we try to pack it into a pick-a-brick cup at the Lego store. But they'll let us.
But also, then he told me it depends on the person who's working at this used Lego store. Sometimes they'll let him like put a few pieces outside of the bag and take them.
Pictures or didn't happen. Pictures or didn't happen, Chris.
What was this? His
He said
nanner pudding. Thought I'd check in.
Yeah.
That sounds typical. I'm not even phased by his. Chris goes on vacation at least 4 times a year, and typically always to Jekyll. It always involves him
Going
eating.
to the ER.
Going to the ER. Well, no, that's new for 2021. Is that he has to have a trip to the ER for his vacation trip.
Calling the insurance adjuster.
Yeah, calling the insurance adjuster. That's a new one too. But it does usually revolve around food.
Nanner pudding.
Shrimp.
Pudding is always
I love
on the agenda.
Banana pudding and shrimp. So like, he's gonna eat a full meal of like shrimp and then eat banana pudding after it.
That's like fish sticks and custard. That's close enough.
It sounds about right.
I don't know. When I hear nanner pudding, I think of an old folks home. So
Yeah. Is he really going to an old folks home 4 times a year?
It's good that Chris showed up because we should probably wrap up the show because we're coming up on 9 o'clock.
No.
But
Make a
it was really great of everybody to show up this evening and hang out with us. And good luck at BrickCon this weekend, Captain Xavier. That's,
Yes,
you know,
we look forward to seeing pictures of your display. I really am excited.
The pictures and YouTube videos and all that jazz.
Yep. Hey, have you ever shared with us your YouTube? Is if we search for Captain Xavier on YouTube, will we find you?
If you search YouTube for Captain Xavier, you're probably going to end up on my Nerf channel. If you want my brick channel, then you need to search Captain Xavier's brick channel.
Okay, so Captain Xavier brick channel. Okay,
Captain Xavier's brick channel. If you want to see some absolutely absurd Nerf builds, then check out my Nerf channel.
I have modded some steampunk Nerf guns, so I will probably check them out both.
I have a mini gun that fires 20 rounds a second and holds 2,000 rounds in a backpack.
What?
That's
Do you
crazy.
have any channels?
It also has an underslung rocket launcher because every minigun needs an underslung rocket launcher.
I've always said
absolutely.
Scruffy looking Nerf herders.
What?
Do you have any channels for scruffy looking Nerf herders?
I actually use that phrase in the intro of some of my videos.
I am not surprised.
So-
Brown, by the way, thank you for the link to your uncle's, or I think it was, Uncle's Castle owns a small castle in Alost. I'm looking at that now. That's pretty cool.
He gave another link a little bit higher up for another castle in his hometown that looks pretty cool.
Where if I go further up?
A little further up, yeah.
We got to cut this off right here. We got to cut it off. You guys can talk about the castle in a minute.
Jeez, you think you were a bricksmith?
It's I could have Chris join and you know end the show if you want to.
Well, it's true because I guess is Victorious Live going on tonight?
I don't know. I'm not sure who's doing what right now, but
All right, we will cut this.
Chris would say, everybody be kind to your neighbors, wear your mask, get your shots, eat your nanner puddings, and have a great weekend. We'll see you Messy Monday.